not psychic, but I know something about you because you're here. Because you knew that we were going to talk about overcoming challenges tonight and fears and doubts and that kind of thing. So I know you've got at least one fear or challenge or doubt in your life. Am I right? You might have two, but hopefully you just have one. And I don't know why this particular thing is a challenge to you, right? Maybe you think it's going to be really hard, whatever it is. Maybe you think that you doubt your abilities, right? Or maybe it's something you really want to do, but you're scared and you're fearful of it. And which is kind of a funny thing, to be fearful of something that you really want to do. And I remember the last time that I was in this state. I was in Hawaii because I study with kahunas in Hawaii. The Hawaiians have a very elegant system for creating rapid mental change. So I go over there and I study about twice a year. And as part of this training, it's about 8 to 10 days, we live together. And we go around the island, we visit different sacred spots. And part of the unwritten rules is that you never know what's going to happen. So you got to be ready for anything at all times. And now, have any of you ever been to the Big Island? Anybody? Anybody? One? Okay. Derek has. Good. So there's this area on the Big Island. It's called South Point. And South Point is just what it says. It's the southernmost tip of the island, right? It also happens to be the southernmost tip of the United States. And it's kind of windswept. Not many people live there. There's no fresh water there. And the biggest feature, the most striking feature of this area are these cliffs that drop straight into the ocean. So as we're driving around, we go to South Point, we're learning about the significance of the area, and we're kind of just looking over the cliffs, and we think we're gonna get in the car and go to the next spot. And as we're looking over the cliffs, the teacher, she says, "Get your suits on, we're going in." And I think, yes, this is gonna be so cool. I've never done cliff jumping before. It's gonna be great. Now, there's these little piers on South Point, and it really puts the phrase "taking a long walk on a short pier" to action, so to speak, because these piers are perched right on the edge of the cliff, and you can look down. It's 40 feet down, really far down. So I have my suit on, and I'm all psyched, and I watch a couple people jump over. It seems pretty easy. They all landed pretty well, and I get up there, and I look over, and I say, "Whoa!" It's really far down because I can look out, and all I can see is ocean. Right? I mean, it's all the way in your peripheral vision. That's all you can see. And I look down and I see that crystal blue Hawaiian water, and I see some fish swimming around. And I know that there's no rocks under there, right? And I'm looking over, and I stand there for about 5 minutes just looking down and looking up, saying, "Okay, I'm going to go." "Okay, no, I'm not." Right? And I back up, and I go, "Okay, I'm going to go in a minute. I'm going to go in a minute." So I get my guts up again, and I walk up, and I hang my toes over the edge, and I look down. Nope. Not going to do it. I step back. All right. And by this time, my group's like, "Tracy, would you just get your ass off the cliff?" Right? And I'm telling them, I'm going to go. I just don't know when. I'm going to go. So between one of my little break times that I took, a bunch of military guys showed up. They were on break from Pearl Harbor. And these are the guys that don't care about anything, right? Because they're used to getting shot at, and jumping over cliffs, no big deal to them. So there's about 20 of them. And they're going over, they're doing flips, and I'm like, man, it looks so easy, right? So finally, they're kind of done playing around, and I go, "Okay, I have to go. I have to go now." I put my toes over the edge, and all of a sudden, all these military guys are behind me in a half circle, and someone from my group has told them my name. And so they start chanting my name, and I hear this, "Tracy, Tracy, Tracy." And I'm thinking, oh God. And this is just one of those times when you want a superhero to save you. When you want some guy in a cape to just swoop down, pick you up, and take you to somewhere where nobody knows your name. Right? It's all about how you handle your challenges. It's not about having challenges at all, right? You don't have problems, you're doing problems. You're way bigger than any problem you could ever have. Does that make sense? You're just doing something that's ineffective. Right? People say, oh, I have a sickness, I have a disease. No, you're doing a disease. Right? You're doing a sickness. And that goes back to taking responsibility, right? And this, we talked about this a little bit last week, but when you take responsibility at a deep level for creating everything that goes on for you, you can start to realize what you're doing as opposed to, oh, poor me. Right? Having a problem is an oh, poor me thing. Here's the world's smallest violin. Playing I Weep for You. Right? That doesn't work. It doesn't help anybody get past anything. It doesn't empower you at all. Right? Because if you focus on what you want, you're going to get what you want. Okay? So we want to always be feeding ourselves pictures of what we want, what we want, what we want. When we're telling other folks what we want out of them, like if some of you manage people at work, or if you have kids, or a spouse, you know, that needs direction, because we know spouses need direction, right? You want to say what you want. So now, so knowing that there's no superhero that's going to save me, I'm still stuck on the edge of this cliff in Hawaii at South Point with all these military guys chanting my name in a 40-foot plunge in front of me. Okay, so I hear them, Tracy, Tracy. And finally I turn around and I say, you know what? If you shut up, I'll go. So they did. And I said, okay, to myself, I'm like, I'm going to go on 3. So I was up there and I said, 1, 2, and I closed my eyes, 3. And I'm still standing there. And I said, okay, 4, 5. And I jumped into the water. And as I swam up, I had the most exhilarated feeling that I've ever felt ever in my life. And I knew that I could do anything. All I had to do was decide to do it. Right? And I know that you guys can do that too. And whenever I can help you, just let me know, because that's what I'm here for.